Hey there, welcome back to this space. A beautiful month is upon us and I thought it could be a great chance to give some insight into how our multicultural home and family celebrates Ramadan. A little about what we get up to and especially share some of our go-to recipes for cooking. My husband tells me that when he was growing up, in a similar way most of us here have such excitement for Christmas in England, they were always excited for Ramadan. So here we are decorating the house with some simple but lovely decorations with the boys. We love to involve them as much as possible with our seasonal and festive decorations across the year. Lots of the decorations are crescent themed, as Ramadan is a lunar festival which begins when the new crescent moon is sighted in the sky. From dawn till sunset, no food is eaten and no drinks are drunk. Having tried fasting the whole month a few times now, but not the past couple of years as I have either been pregnant or breastfeeding my young child, I can honestly say that it is incredibly challenging, but also the most incredible experience ever. The first day can be extremely tough, but as the days go on, the hunger and thirst becomes more manageable. Many religions have fasting elements, such as Christians with Lent, Jews with Yom Kippur, and Hindus on full moon days. The extent of fasting in Ramadan, with it being 29 to 30 days, is quite unique in that it is a long, consistent period of fasting. Fasting has so many benefits in regards to weight loss, disease prevention, heart and gut health. Honestly, I genuinely felt that my organs were having a good rest as they were not needing to digest or do as much work as usual. Perhaps this enabled them to then replenish my body more. That's just the feeling that I got at the time. I feel like Ramadan and fasting can be beneficial for everyone. It trains you to resist temptations of drink and food. It encourages you to do more good and positive things. We have made our eldest son a little good deeds jar for this month to more actively reward him for all of his good actions. Right, let's get started with the recipes then. Here I am making spinach and banana pancakes. You start off with smashing up your bananas and adding either 1 or 2 eggs based on how much you are making. Give that a good mix and stir. Then you add your baking powder, cinnamon, flaxseed, and give that a good whisk. Once that is mixed up well, you can add your spinach. My spinach had already been washed from the packet, so I was just able to just pour that straight in and give it a good mix before getting it ready to be hand blended. I also add a splash of milk just to get a bit more of a runny consistency. And there is the result. After this, it is now ready to add in the plain flour. I don't really use any measurements, but you just want to get that sort of consistency, which is like a pancakey consistency, not too runny, but not too thick. Then they are ready to fry in the pan. I think I did put slightly too much oil than I needed to. Yeah, you just fry them for a couple of minutes on each side until they are cooked through. And they make a great snack for the kids when they're a bit hungry, or sometimes we give them to the kids as a breakfast part 1 before the main breakfast. Here I'm preparing to make a shepherd's pie. So I'm just chopping up my potatoes, ready to boil them for mashing later. And then whilst those potatoes are boiling, get the mincemeat onto the pan to cook and get brown and release all of its juices, and just keep cooking it for a little bit, giving it a good mix. I then add some onions and garlic chopped and give that a good mix as well. Let that marinate into the mincemeat and release all of its flavours. And then I add my spices, my salt, my pepper, fenugreek, cayenne pepper, isot, ground cumin. I think it was actually ground oregano that I had in that jar. And just give all those spices a good mix and let that really marinate into the mincemeat before adding the hot boiling water for it to simmer. Oh, sorry, before adding in the special ingredient, the Worcestershire sauce. Oh, and I also decided to throw in some extra vegetables and nutrition, and added some frozen vegetables into there as well. And then I added that hot boiling water just to let it simmer down. Whilst that was simmering, I added some butter to my potatoes and a splash of milk and just gave that a good smash. I am quite generous with the butter. I feel like it adds another dimension to the mashed potatoes. And then that's it. Super easy, super simple, and you get layering it. You just pour your mincemeat mixture in and mashed potato on top, give it a fork around. And I always like to finish it off with some grated mozzarella or grated cheese on the top, sprinkled all over. And there we have it. Spinach and banana pancakes, shepherd's pie. And then later on that day, my husband was craving to make some kandil simidi, sort of like a savoury biscuit. It tasted a lot like the mattia that we have in Punjabi culture. And he also coated them with sesame seeds and black sesame seeds later as well. Black sesame has lots of health benefits too, so that was really nice to have them coated with. And the ingredients for those was really simple. He made a dough out of flour, butter, oil, yogurt, egg, vinegar and baking powder, and salt and sugar. And they were absolutely delicious. We also gave some to our neighbours as well. So here I am preparing to make some butternut squash soup. I was also going to add some carrots and coriander into that soup, but yeah, I'm just peeling and getting that butternut squash ready to be chopped into cubes, into small pieces, to put into the oven and just bake them for about an hour, just until they're quite soft, ready to transfer them onto the pan and blend them further with some flavours and spices and add the carrots and coriander in. So there we have the butternut squash transferred onto the pan, and I just blended it down a little bit, not with the hand blender just yet, just sort of smashed it with my smashing tool and added that chopped coriander in, and there we are, hand blending that in. On the side there you saw me just sauteing some chicken. That's going to be for the next dish, my chicken pesto pasta. Just thought I'd multitask there. And yeah, here I am now chopping up the fresh basil for my chicken pesto pasta, and then just frying those pine nuts on the pan. And it's so simple, so easy. You just throw all the ingredients together and it's made. I added into the hand blender, I added lemon juice, salt and pepper, and some olive oil as well. Mix that all up into the pasta, and then added the chicken, and it became a lovely dish, chicken pesto pasta. As the day goes on, for example, on this first day of Ramadan, I did struggle a lot. I was so damn thirsty, and it honestly made me feel closer to that edge where you can connect more with how it must feel for those who are genuinely starving or dehydrated and don't know if they will have a meal and drink in a few hours' time or not. It really encourages empathy towards those in need, those in poverty, those who don't have what you have. So in that sense, Ramadan not only encourages physical cleansing of the body, but a spiritual cleanse too. In your fasting state, you may feel closer to God and more grateful to God. In my final hours of fasting, I felt gratitude for so many things, especially food and drinks, for the various tastes that we enjoy: cold refreshing drinks, warm soothing tea, flavourful fruits, succulent meats, brilliant salads, warm soups, and so on. A fast is traditionally opened with dates. Our neighbour kindly gifted us some delicious dates from Gaza. Dates have so many benefits as well for digestion, as an anti-inflammatory, improves brain functionality, fights diabetes, protects your kidneys, and so much more. So we opened our fasts with a date, enjoyed our water and all the foods I had prepared that day for that evening. Thank you for joining our first 24 hours, our first day of Ramadan.